Hey Jordan, how you doing? I've got your workup right. I continue to update my portfolio, combine my favorite aspects of my logo. Roughs to create one overall logo. Feedback, critique of this would be greatly appreciated. Absolutely, no problem, Jordan. I'll be glad to. Okay, let's go. Now, basically, my first impression is that there's a lot of different components used to create this logo. And that said, you want to keep in mind one of the attributes of successful logos is to be memorable, right? So right now you're asking your viewer to remember, let's count them. Okay, JT, that's one. The rows, that's two. The frame, that's three. Graphic design is four. Photography is five. Uh, um, Web design is six. And a general overall layout. Basically, there's six or seven things you're asking the viewer to try to remember in this logo, and that's just impossible. It's just the reason the Target logo is so successful is because it's one element. And that's what the viewer remembers. That's what locked into the memory. Same thing with Nike, same thing with FedEx. There's just the FedEx has the type with the little arrow. That's it. I mean, that's it, right? So in branding, it's really important to streamline your attempts to make it appear as though the logo is as simple as possible. Another recommendation I have here is I want you to think about this. Okay, so you added the rows, which adds quite a feminine feel to the logo, right? Now, I want to ask you this. So as a graphic designer, a photographer, or even a web designer, this is your logo. Let's say there's an NFL team that's looking to have a designer, and this is hypothetical, right? So there's an NFL team, National Football League team that's looking for a designer to assemble their a brochure for the team, right? Now, as we know, NFL is an extremely masculine, aggressive sport. So, would it be likely to choose somebody who represents themselves with this design to represent something that is more aggressively designed? Okay. Conversely, it works the other way too. An extremely masculine logo. I mean, if you have let's say you have a company a makeup company that wants an annual report done, they're not likely going to use a designer who's extremely aggressive and masculine. It's my thought that the more versatile you are in a logo, the more accessible it will be, and the more it'll attract attention to get you hired as a designer. Okay, the other thing with this logo is that the mechanics are a little bit misleading in that this is personal branding, right? So you want to you take your name, Jordan Thomas, right, and you combine your name with the monogram, the initials, and then you give your discipline. So I want to link out to Google real quick because I want to show you a really effective example. I'll be right back. Linked out, and I got some examples up. And really, the reason I'm bringing these examples up is I want you to understand that the most direct and successful formula for personal branding is to include a monogram, your name, and your discipline. And everything else can really be considered secondary. That's the basic information. That's the formula that provides the most simplicity, the most memorability, and the most versatility. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we can see, all I did here, as you can see, is I just Googled graphic designer's personal logo. And you can see example after example after example with the same kind of formula that I'm talking about. Totally different configurations, a lot of different things going on, but basically we're looking at the mark, okay, the monogram, the name, and the discipline. Okay, so we can see it in a lot of different things. Here's a B with the signature and then the discipline. Over here we have the mark is below, so we have the name, the discipline, and the mark below, and then here we have the mark next to the name and the discipline. A lot of the others are uh, examples of monograms. But again, here's another: Sean Azul, S.A. Photography, Pierce Creature. I'm not even sure what that was. Michael Nagy with the monogram. Jamie Evans graphic design. Okay, so all of them are really showing the monogram with the name and the discipline. And you can get away with just the monogram and the name. But I do not recommend pursuing this without your full name on here because it's branding. I mean, that's what you really want to do. You want to brand your name into the mind and memory of the persons who are going to be using the logo to hire you professionally or hire you as a designer to do some freelance work. Okay, so my recommendation is to try to follow that that type of configuration as closely as possible. I think it's going to provide you with the most versatility, and I think it's going to be easiest to move forward with when that time comes. Okay, so go. I guess keep working, and if you want to, I mean, what you could do, you could use this if you wanted. I think the stroke size is a little bit small, and then keep in mind, I want you to watch something that happens with this particular logo. But when we zoom out, this points to spatial relationships, size relationships that could be further refined. But right now we see JT in the rows, but we can't see graphic. We can't see the discipline. So at a small size, you still want the logo to be visible in terms of the discipline, the name, and the monogram. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope my comments make sense. Please let me know. And of course, I'm right here if you want to continue working on your logo and resubmit. All right, Jordan, thank you very much.